Okay. Well, welcome to Quantitative Literacy. Um, what is quantitative literacy? Well, it's the idea that you are literate, to get you literate in math. So when you think about being literate in reading or writing or something like that, then you're able to do it and you're able to use it whenever you need to. So that's the same idea, is that you're able to use this math in real life situations. So if you need to figure out how much a shirt's going to cost when it's 20% off, or how to, I don't know, figure out your probability of winning at a game or something like that, then it's things that you could use in life, um, supposedly, that you would, would benefit you. So that's the idea behind quantitative literacy. We'll do some algebra in here, but nothing to the extent of like the pre-calculus class or anything like that. A lot of what we go over in this class, you've probably been introduced to even in middle school. You may not remember it, that's okay, but you've probably seen it before. Hey, Mason, you made it back. And here is Willow introducing herself. So expect to see my kitties. I can't lock them out of the room or they just stand there and scream. So let's get down, okay? So I guess I should introduce myself. My name's Erin Collier. I have been teaching for, oh gosh, off and on for 20 years. Let me see. I've got a student emailing me here. Okay. What was I saying? And I've been teaching at the community college level for over 6 years. I just got on full-time this year at Wilkes. Been teaching part-time for them and some other schools too. But so I'm excited. I'm glad that I finally got on full-time. I have a daughter who will be 18 at the end of the month. You might know her. Her name's Rihanna. She went to the high school her first 2 years, but then she has been at the School of Science and Math in Durham since then. She is smarter than I am already. But and I've got 3 kitty cats. Like I said, you'll occasionally see them. You may even, during our lecture videos that you'll watch, get to hear them meow. And something you'll hear me worried about occasionally is I'm building technically still a tiny house. It's just under 900 square feet, so technically a tiny house. And right now we're having whale difficulties, so I'm stressed to the max. Very expensive stuff. But anyway, that's me. Do you have any questions about me before I go on about the class? Okay. So we meet every Monday and Wednesday from 8:20 to 9:35. Yeah, we could occasionally end early. There might be once during the semester that we won't meet, maybe twice, that we won't need to, but most of the time we will. And you are required to come to these sessions. This is just as if you were going to class. The new attendance policy says if you miss this class more than 4 times, you can be dropped. So please be careful with that, that you are coming to class. Unless you're really sick, you know, shoot me and email me and let me know. And, you know, I understand that, of course. If you've got a job or something like that, make sure that you're not scheduled to work during this time, because that's not going to work out for this particular class. You'd have to take an asynchronous 143. This is considered synchronous. Also, and most of you did a really good job with this today, but we do need to be on time. You know, try to join at least a minute or two early in case you're having trouble. You also need to stay for the entire class. So whether you come late or leave early, either of those would be considered a tardy, which could affect your attendance also. If there's something I found out yesterday, is anybody in here an Ash High School online only student right now? Online only, not going. Dylan is? Let me write this down. Anybody else online only? Okay. They've made a new rule that you guys have to meet twice a week with your online only classes from the high school. So Dylan, if you would, right after class is over, go ahead and if you try to figure out the contact information for your other instructors and email them and let them know that you have a class right now. Because if they try to schedule one of their classes during this time, we're going to have major issues. So it'd be a good idea to go ahead and tell them that you have a scheduled class right now. And if you have another class with the college, to tell them that's synchronous, or on campus to tell them that too, okay?
I think it's at Apex, so I don't think I have to worry about that.
Oh, you think it's what?
In Apex, you don't have to meet for Apex classes. It's at your own pace. Like, I could do that.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, you might want to email them just in case, because
Okay.
I don't know what that Apex means, but it is a new requirement. It wasn't required last semester. So it wouldn't hurt to just let them know to be sure. And anybody else who's listening to this recording, if you're an online only student, go ahead and shoot me an email and let me know that, and let's talk about it. Okay, so you will expect to work at least Monday through Thursday on this class. You can expect to spend 10 to 15 hours per week working on this class only. And that's including class meeting time. So we meet for the equivalent of 2.5 hours. So you're looking at 8 hours outside of class, at least. And there may be some weeks where you only spend 2 or 3 out of class. And there's maybe a few where you spend 10 out of class. But I tell you that as a pretty much a maximum, unless you really, really struggle with math, and then it may be a little more, and we'll get together and I'll help you out with that too. So you will log into Moodle and complete assignments and watch video lectures and all that at least Monday through Thursday. And then Friday and Saturday and Sunday are times for you to catch up if you weren't able to work on another day, or to work ahead. So I'll go over to our Moodle class and show you that here in just a minute, but let me explain a little bit about how I run the class. So what I do is I call this a flipped classroom. If we were meeting on campus, we would meet for almost 2 hours twice a week instead of an hour and 15 minutes. And we would have time then for me to lecture in class and show you how to do things. Well, we don't really have time for the lecture part during class. So what I do is I require, you could say, that you watch video lectures before class. And I'll point out what to watch when and all that stuff. Don't worry about it. But you'll be required to watch these video lectures and take notes before you come to class. And then during class, what we'll do is we'll mostly spend time on labs, because labs are a little bit harder than the homework. And so what I'll do is put you in groups and we'll split up and let you work together, and I'll rotate through and check on you and make sure you're understanding everything okay. And then if we don't have a lab to do or we're done with that, then we'll work on homework. So class time for us is pretty much going to be working on assignments, getting done as much as we can, and then outside of class, you'll view your lectures and finish up your assignments. Okay? Let's see. Let me go ahead and share my screen. And this is our Moodle class over here. So you probably noticed that the first thing that came up today was the collaboration tab with our class meeting on it. I'm going to change that right now so that the first thing that comes up is the first day of class tab. So what you're going to do after class today is you're going to go through and complete some things here. You'll go to the first tab, course information. Here's my name, my email, my office hours, and our class meeting times. And there's a little welcome here that I'd like you to read through. It has a little bit of information in it. And then our syllabus, and this is all under the first tab that says course information, okay? So our syllabus is here. You need to read that. You can either click on the one here that goes through one thing at a time, or you can click on my printable copy, which you're welcome to print also, right there. And that's what that looks like. So I'm not going to read the syllabus, but I am going to touch on a few things here. So let's go ahead and look at that there. Okay, here on my screen. Make sure that you've got all the prerequisites you need, that you're in the correct class and aren't having any problems with that. So you can read through this first part. You can read through the course description. Over here under required materials, we do have a book. It's created by Hawks Learning. You need to go to the bookstore, whether you're in Ash or Wilkes. You'll go to either the Ash bookstore or the Wilkes bookstore, and you'll get at least the access code for this book. You do not have to have a printed copy of this book. So it might save you, say, $5 to not get the printed copy. And that's up to you. If you want to get the printed copy, you're welcome to. We don't use it for assignments or anything, but you can always refer back to it as a resource. So if you like things printed, then definitely go ahead and get that. If not, you will be able to access an e-text online. So either way, you'll get access to the book, but if you want it printed, then you can get that, and if you don't worry about it, okay?
I do
There
have a question.
is a packet of notes, which you will also purchase at the bookstore. I think it's about $15 unless you're a high school or early college student. And what that is, and I'll show you more about this later, but I give you, I'll go ahead and show you. It'll be easier than just randomly talking.
I do have a quick question about the book.
Sure.
Is this a different book from the one that was used for this class, like in the past couple semesters?
Yes, it's the book that was used this past fall, but
Okay.
before this past fall, we used a different book.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. So if I want a printed copy, I'll have to go out and get, because I this is the third time I'm taking this class,
Okay.
unfortunately, and I do have a past copy of the book, but that's why I was trying to make sure whether this was the same book or a different copy of the or a different book entirely.
Yeah, unless you took it this past fall, then it's different.
Okay. Thank you.
And as you already know, there is an access code too for the
Right.
online program, which the online program will be different from what you're used to. So guys, even if you don't want a physical copy of the book, you do have to go to the bookstore and get your access code and your packet, okay? You will have to do that. And there is an option for you to purchase your access code online. You'll still have to go to the college and get your packet. And you want to get that packet today or tomorrow. Seriously. Let me show you why. Here it is. This is in Moodle, but you don't have to print this because you're going to pick it up in the packet. It's already printed for you. So what this is, and we don't do those first chapter anymore, but it starts with 4:1. And what this is I have typed up the majority of your notes for you. So like anything that you need to know for a particular section is at the top, and then your examples are already typed up here. So that saves a lot of your writing. The only thing that you have to write is basically what I write. So if when we're working a problem, you will fill in this space here everything, how to work it and the answer. Don't just put the answer, because then when you go back to look at it later when you're working on your homework, an answer isn't going to help you. You need to be able to see how we got it. So make sure everything that you write, that I write, you write. But that's what's in your packet, is these handouts. And I don't think there's any labs in there. There might be a couple, but just to give you an idea of what you're picking up. Okay, so back to the syllabus. Get at least a 1-inch binder, 1.5 if you expect to fill it with your homework and stuff, but at least a 1-inch binder to put these notes in. They'll be hole punched for you already, and you'll be able to keep them in there nice and organized. If you want to get some tabs to organize, that would be wonderful, but definitely you need a binder. And make sure that you're taking, wherever you may be for class, make sure that you are taking this binder, this packet with you. So if you're staying at a friend's house the night before class, or your grandparents, or if you're on campus or something, you must take this packet of notes with you so that you'll have it to work up to reference in class, okay? We'll talk more about this other stuff later. you'll need to be able to have access to Excel, which is free through the college. You don't have to have a graphing calculator. A scientific calculator would be great, but we do use a program online called Desmos, which is a free graphing calculator online, and it's really useful. So if you don't have a calculator, that's okay. We'll be using that online one. You can read through the objectives and competencies on your own. You are required to have reliable internet access. So if it starts during the semester that your internet's breaking up and you're getting knocked in and out, then you would be required to do something to upgrade that. Okay, so and I had to do that myself. I had to upgrade mine. It cost me about $5 more a month, so nothing awful. But keep that in mind that it has to be a good internet connection. You're also required to have at least a microphone. A camera is nice because you can easily show me your work as you're going. So camera is definitely good, but you do need to have a microphone. I had a student last semester who didn't, and that was a pain in the tail. So we do need to do that. So if you don't have a microphone, you can probably pick one up or at Walmart or Amazon, or a headset would be fine too. You can read through all this, please do. Just to touch on some things, I don't accept any late work. I mean, there might be one time that I would accept it, maybe once if something happens, but it is not a policy that I accept late work. So if you are completing your assignments late, you're not going to get credit. So keep that in mind. With Hawks, everybody is able to get a 100. So the way Hawks works is there's a lesson, a practice, and a certify. And your lesson, you can refer back to that if you need to, but that'll mostly be our video lectures, so you won't need that as much. The practice is for you to practice the homework problems, and then the certify is to make sure you understand them. So sometimes you might get by with doing the certify and not the practice. Sometimes you may not be able to complete the certify on your own and go back to the practice where it offers help. Again, just a quick little touch on that so far. Pretty much already talked about participation and attendance. You are required to watch the video lectures. Those are 10% of your grade. You're also required to take notes on the packet that you'll pick up from the college bookstore. And the notes you will actually upload to me also. And they will be 10% of each test grade. So we don't have to worry about that too much right now. We'll talk about that in future days. Here's the grading. You can see that I count homeworks for as much credit as I do tests, because personally I feel like the homework is more important. That's where you're learning, okay? And then test, you're telling me whether you know it or not. Yes. But if you've done your homework, then you're very likely to do well on the test. So that's why I give equal importance there. Your final exam is 20%. Labs are 20%. And attendance and participation, that's pretty much watching the videos, is 10%. Again, I don't take any late work, but I do drop a lowest homework, lowest lab, and lowest video, not test, but each of those at the end of the semester in case you have had once for each of those that you weren't able to complete it on time. There's The only extra credit offered are chapter reviews in Hawks for each chapter, and those are useful because they're extremely similar to the test. So you can work those for extra practice and for extra credit. Tutoring is available online right now. You may be on campus at some point, but right now it's just online, and that's through the Academic Support Center. You will be required to attend one tutoring session within the first couple of weeks. I'll point out by when here in a minute. And if your grade drops below a 75, you'll be required to attend tutoring at least 1 hour a week. And I do that basically because we don't want it to drop below a 75. We don't want you to get below a C in this class. Okay, a C is your goal. You may have a higher goal, which is wonderful, but in order for this class to transfer to any four-year college, you have to have a C. So that is your main goal, is to make sure you get at least a C in this class. And then the rest of this, let's see, I've gone over a lot of this already. If you are enrolled in 043, you know who you are, Quantitative Literacy Support, then you're required to attend both classes and participate in both classes. If at any point you get dropped from one class, you will automatically get dropped from the other. If you have any questions about that, you can let me know later. Okay, so let me finish. I know I'm talking a whole lot today. I usually don't talk this much, but you know, yeah, it's first day thing. The second tab here is tutoring. And if we have time, I'll go over how to schedule tutoring today. If not, we'll do that Monday. There is the third tab called the Mandatory First Assignment, the Enrollment Verification Activity. Ooh, 5 of you have already done it. I'm impressed. This is absolutely required. If you don't complete this by January 15th, then you will be dropped from this class. No questions asked. It's not hard. It's what, like 2 or 3 questions? I think it's not right or wrong particularly. I mean, you're going to get it right. It's not for a grade, but you do have to do it to stay in the class. It won't take you but a few minutes. Okay, I promise. Anybody who's already done it, didn't it take you more than 5 minutes?
No, it's 5 questions, and it took me like maybe 2 minutes to complete.
Yeah.
Personally.
So
anyway.
Go ahead and do that today. Get it over with. Next tab. This is very important. This is our calendar. I have pretty much already decided what we're doing when for the entire semester. Now, yeah, due dates could change slightly, not being earlier but later. And if they do, then we'll talk about that, and I'll change it on here. When you pick up your packet from school, you'll also get a printed copy of this calendar. And if we change anything, you can just mark it out and change. But most of it won't change. Put this in your binder. It will also be starting next week, the first thing that comes up when you pull up this class. And this tells you what you need to do each day. So you can see I've got Mondays and Wednesdays highlighted up top. That's because that's when we meet. And then due dates are in bold. And everything else is just when I'm asking you to complete it. Of course, it's not due till the due date, but I'm suggesting that you do things on the day that I have them on the calendar so that you're pacing yourself well. You don't want to wait till the last minute and spend 5 hours in one day working on quantitative literacy. You'd rather spend maybe an hour, maybe 2 a day than, you know, piling it up all at once. So here's how to read this calendar, and if you don't catch it now, we'll go over it again, believe me. So you can see what you need to do today. Syllabus, read the syllabus. Sign up for Hawks, and if we have time, we'll start on the lab, the entry lab. We may not have time today. So here's what you need to do tomorrow, Thursday, January 7th. It says 4.1 rates and ratios. So what that means is that you watch the video for that section, take notes on it, and then complete the homework. So that's the idea, is tomorrow for you to do those things. So you do need to go by and pick up today or tomorrow. Make sure you've gone to the bookstore and got your access for Hawks and your packet by then, so that you can take your notes and do your homework, okay? Then we'll skip down here to Monday. It says the syllabus quiz is due. I'll show you what that is in a second. And then in italics, it says 4.1 video due before class. So what this means is, when you watch the video on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or at 5 o'clock Monday morning, you have to have it watched by 8:20 on Monday morning, this coming Monday morning. It will automatically give you a grade for watching it. And I'll show you how to get to that in 1 second. So you get a grade for watching these videos or not. And like I said, that's 10% of your grade. So you have to have watched the video and taken notes on it before class Monday. The reason for that is so that, you know, I put these videos due before class on here so that you're prepared for whatever we're working on in class that day, okay? Other due dates are in bold. Like you can see, Monday, I'm asking you to go ahead and schedule your tutoring appointment. Next Tuesday is when you'll start on the second section. Watch the video, take notes, do the homework. Wednesday, your intro lab is due. We'll look at that Monday. That's pretty short, and I may extend the due date for that because we probably won't have time today. And we'll start the first lab on next Wednesday. And the 4.2 is videos due before next Wednesday. And so you can see an idea here of what is expected of you each day and when your due dates are. Okay, let me look at my list, see what I've missed here so far. Make sure that you have a computer or at least a tablet. Tablets don't work very well with everything, so you really do need to have a computer for this class. Doing things on your phone will not work, okay? You may have to use that as a supplementary tool every now and then, but you do have to have a computer for this class. And we already talked about internet. Have a backup plan. So let's say you come, you're getting on class, it's 8:20 and you can't get in. Have a backup plan. Try to think of some kind of possibility for what could you do if you can't get into class. Could you go to a neighbor's house? Even if it takes you 10 minutes, could you drive to grandma's or a friend or to campus or something like that, okay? What can you do to make sure that you have internet during class, even if you're late? Better late than never, right? Same thing with assignments. Let's say you go to turn in your lab at 10 o'clock on the night it's due, which you should have worked on it earlier. But let's just say you've procrastinated and it's 10 o'clock and it's due at midnight and your internet's not working. You better have a backup plan at that point. because late assignments aren't accepted. So make sure you've either started your work early, which is the best idea, or have some kind of idea of, you know, in the back of your head, what other options do you have for internet if yours isn't working, okay? And then email me if you do have a problem and there's just nothing you can do about it, especially for class. Let's see. Homework is in Hawks. Your tests will pretty much be in Hawks. We talked about the calendar and no late work. If classes are canceled on campus, let's say there's a snow day and you get a text that says that classes are canceled, that does not mean that our class is canceled. I'm so sorry. Unless you get an email from me, which, you know, if we have enough snow days, then I might send you an email and be like, you know, it snowed 8 inches. Go out and play. Let's take the day off. It's possible. But if you don't get an email from me saying that class is canceled, then we still have class online, okay? So let's keep going through our tabs here. Under the Resources tab, you also see where it says Hawks here. The very first thing under the Resources tab is this Hawks Learning link. This is how you will get to your homework. If you get instructions from the bookstore with your access code, do not use those instructions. You have to access Hawks from this link in Moodle. Instructions for that are right here where it says signing up with Hawks. There's a phone number. Hawks support is absolutely incredible. They are wonderful. They are so nice. I've never had a problem with getting help from them. They have a 24/7 chat, and their hours may have changed, but it's pretty close. And they have a phone number. So they are, if you have any problems with Hawks, call them. They are great. We'll look at this later. You can watch that video if you like, but we'll talk more about uploading PDFs later. Here are college resources if you need to go, if you need something from the college, if you need some support from anyone, the college has wonderful, wonderful resources for you. So reach out to someone on this link or let me know and I will hook you up with the right person to help you, okay? And you probably won't need that because you're going to pick it up, and that's for me. Under the first day of class tab, you've got this video here, and this is the video that you got in your email that you were supposed to get early but didn't. Watch this, or at least scan through it. It goes over pretty much what we've done right now, but I know that listening to me talk during class, you kind of might check out or something. So this is this video here, and I will post our recorded video right now on here in case you need to go back and look at it and what did she say about that, and try to find it on there. And then our first lab is here. You can look at that, but we won't talk about it until Monday. Here is your syllabus quiz. Your syllabus quiz is due Monday by midnight. Basically, you're reading your syllabus and completing this quiz. And so it's based on your syllabus and my video and basically what we've talked about in class today. So it shouldn't take you long. I think it might be 10 questions. If you don't get a 100, you can take it again. This does count as a grade, so go ahead and get a 100 on it. It's the easiest grade of the semester. And if you want to hear a little bit more about me, you can click on there. And if you'd like to introduce yourself to the class, you can click on here. You don't have to, but if you'd like to, that'd be great, and I will do my best to respond. If you have something more personal to tell me, send that by email, okay? Okay, let's see. This is the Labs tab. We'll talk about that more later. And the Notes tab, this is where you will upload your notes for each unit. We'll talk about that later. And okay, so this is where you go to watch the video lectures, okay? So under Unit 1 here, there's the first video, and you'll click on it from Moodle to make sure you get credit, okay? And you can see the first one is, well, is it not going to tell us how long it is? Hello. I guess not. Not sure how long it is. Some of them are 15 minutes. You might occasionally get a video that's an hour long. That's unlikely. I'd say they average about 30 minutes. Yes, that's a little bit long, I understand, but the reason for that is so that you can make sure that I've gone over examples and you're able to complete your assignments. So I go over lots and lots of examples to make sure that you understand the material. And then we can go over more in class as needed. There's also some additional examples here that you may need to refer back to. I noticed as we were working last semester that there were some problems on the homework that I didn't go over in the examples. So I've created some extra examples here, and if I need to, I'll make videos to go along with that too. I don't think we'll really need it in the first chapter, but we'll see. And then at the end of each unit, there's only 4 sections in the first unit, so that's nice. At the end of each unit, you have something called a fact sheet, and that's basically everything you need to know for the first unit on a page or 2. You also have a review, and after we review in class, I will post the solutions to that review. And those last 2 tabs you don't really need right now. Okay. Let's see, I need to move this up, but frequently asked questions. Read through this and make sure it'll just answer a few more questions for you, okay? I'm gonna stick that up here. There. And then if you have any other questions, send me an email, okay? That's the biggest way that we'll communicate. Since I'm not on campus, I don't have a phone number, and you can't reach me on campus because I'm not there. I have an office, but it won't do you any good. So the best way to reach me is email, and I am usually very, very fast to get back to you by email. Now, if you email me at 10 o'clock at night, you might hear back from me right away. You might not. But usually until about 8 p.m., unless I have an appointment or something, then I'm pretty good about getting back to you real quick. So if you email me, especially during the day, unless I'm in class, be watching for me to answer, because I might answer right away. I keep my notifications for emails on my phone so that I can answer you as soon as I possibly can. Also, be sure that you are checking your email at least once a day, because I'll send out announcements that will come through email, or I might email you individually. If I notice that you're struggling on something, I'll shoot you an email and say, hey, what can I do to help you with this? Okay. So make sure that you are always checking your email. Okay, while I'm thinking about if there's anything else. Oh, I'm getting tired of talking. What kind of questions have you guys got for me?
The Hawks, is that taking the place of the Pearson that was being used in, well,
Yes.
prior to this past fall?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
So the code that I got from the bookstore the other day was actually for Hawks, not for Pearson.
Correct.
Okay. That makes sense as to why my thing wasn't working on Pearson anymore. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, I liked Pearson, and Hawks is good too. So far, so good. It's a little bit cheaper, I think, wasn't it? How much did the Hawks access cost you?
I don't remember individually off the top of my head. I had to get three books when I went.
Oh, okay.
So I know what my total cost was, but
Right.
yeah.
Right. I think the Pearson used to be over $100, and I think the Hawks is a
Yes.
little bit cheaper.
Yeah, the Pearson was definitely it pushed my books costs up when I had to get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's part of the reason we switched to Hawks was to help you guys out there. Ian, did you have a question? I saw your microphone come up.
No, I was just gonna say that it looks like it's gonna cost about $85 on the website.
Okay. On the website? Okay.
Yeah,
And
I don't know what it is in the bookstore, but
right. On the website, it might cost a little bit less, but if you have financial aid, you'll want to buy it from the bookstore. I don't know exactly how that works, but I think if you have financial aid that's coming later, it doesn't matter where you buy it. But if you have financial aid that's paying for your books up front, then you'll want to go to the bookstore. Either way, even if you purchase Hawks online, you have to go to the bookstore and pick up that packet. Is that clear? Packet is very important. And sorry about the cost.
Well, I'm kind of surprised they didn't, because I went into the bookstore in person yesterday, and they didn't say anything about a Hawks packet. I'm not sure if it got put in my bag or in the pile of books that I had, and I just didn't notice it, or what. But I'll go to the bookstore and ask about it.
It wouldn't be a Hawks packet. It would be printed by the print shop. It would be a stack of papers rubber banded together.
Okay, I'll double check the bag.
Which campus did you go to?
I went down to Wilkes. I live up in West Jefferson, but I went down to the Wilkes campus to go and get my books.
Okay. If you don't have a rubber banded set of papers, run by the Ash campus and they'll give it to you.
Okay.
Has anybody else gone to pick up your books and they're not giving you a packet?
Yeah, they didn't give it to me either.
Oh crap! Oh,
I went yesterday.
Was that in Wilkes or Ash?
Yeah, it was in Wilkes. Yeah.
Okay. Are you in Wilkes?
No, I live in Boone, so I have to drive an hour to the bookstore.
Oh,
ouch.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, that is crummy. Let me see if I could. Do you think you could meet me somewhere this afternoon, like in Deep Gap?
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay.
I can. I can day, so I don't have to go to work, so I can go down there. Or I think I work tomorrow, so I can go to the bookstore. I work in Wilkesboro.
Oh, okay. Well, if you work in Wilkesboro, then it should be okay.
Okay.
But if you need me to meet you, email me your phone number and I'll give you a call.
Okay.
And we'll set that up. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm so sorry about that. Anybody else not get given one? Okay, I'm going to call the Wilkes campus immediately after class and try not to let them have it. Because they are supposed to have copies for you guys. Okay. So let's go back over and let me show you what Hawks looks like. So to get into Hawks, again, you'll go to where it says Resources Hawks here, and you'll click on this link, and I'm not going to click on it here because it takes me to something different. But if you go to this signing up with Hawks, it tells you here what to do after you click that link in Moodle. Okay, so here's your instruction guide, and you'll get an access code from the bookstore that it will tell you to enter at some point. Okay, please use your Wilkes Community College email with Hawks, just so that things match up and are nice and easy. You could even use the same password most likely. Let me know if you're having any trouble with that. But Hawks looks like, what do you mean it's incorrect? Well, it's not. Okay, well, I guess I won't show you that yet. You'll see it. It's not that hard to figure out. You get a lesson practice certify. Start with the practice usually after you've watched your videos. Tutoring. Let me show you real quick what to do with that. So like I said, you are required by, let's look at the calendar, by January 26th, so you got 20 days to do this, to complete at least 30-minute tutoring session. Okay, so if you want to wait till you have a couple of questions or something, that's fine. Or if you just want to, say, schedule an appointment and work on your homework with the person, that's fine. I just want you to get this. The reason for this assignment is to make sure you know how to sign up for tutoring and that you're comfortable with it. We will have a tutor named Richard who will, gosh, I don't even know how to say his last name, but his first name is Richard. He'll be here Monday morning to introduce himself, but he will be our personal tutor, and you'll be able to email him for tutoring appointments, or if he's not available, then you would go to this little tab right here, the tutoring help. You click on this first section, and you click, there's two types of tutoring. There's the Wilkes tutoring, and there's something called Thinking Storm. Thinking Storm is available 24/7, but you only get 10 hours per semester. So if it's during the day or by like 8 p.m., use the Wilkes one. Okay, if you're working at 2 o'clock in the morning, then you can, use the Thinking Storm. After 10 hours, you do have the option to pay for more. Don't know how much it costs. But the Wilkes tutoring, you just click the start button. Here you're going to schedule an appointment. If you're taking an English class, you can put in an essay here, but your English teacher will show you how to do that. And I've got instructions for this on the tab too. And you go to where it says book an appointment. And you'll click on math. And let's see. What is this? I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know why There's different things like that there. I guess we'll look at that again on Monday. They may have changed something. So sorry about that. But that's the idea anyway. Let's see, what else do I need to talk about? Let's just go back and look at the calendar real quick. We're just about done for today. So again, after class, you need to read the welcome, look at the syllabus, watch this little video, and complete the syllabus quiz and the EVA, the first assignment. Okay, and that's kind of listed on here. So syllabus, sign up for Hawks. If you've got your access code, you could go ahead and do that. But make sure, you know, I know this says to start working on the notes and Hawks tomorrow, but let's say you don't get to campus until Friday. That's okay. Just make sure you've done it this Thursday assignment sometime over the weekend. Okay. Okay. So let's see if I can get back over here. What other questions have we got? Okay. Well, let's see. What time is it really? My clock on here is fast. Let's go ahead and end. If you have any individual questions for me, let me stop my